What if World War III happened tomorrow? Imagine waking up tomorrow, and everything you know about the world changes in an instant. Borders no longer feel safe. Governments are scrambling. Military forces are on high alert. Social media is ablaze with confusion, fear, and chaos. The world you knew, your daily routines, your cities, your sense of safety, vanishes in a matter of hours. World War III. Not a distant story from history books, not a dystopian movie, but a possibility that could unfold overnight, reshaping civilization as we know it. In this video, we're taking a cinematic journey into the unimaginable, exploring what would happen if WWIII erupted tomorrow. The first strikes. It begins quietly, or at least it feels quiet to the public. Behind closed doors, intelligence agencies detect anomalies, troop movements, encrypted communications, suspicious missile launches. By morning, alerts hit major capitals. Sirens wail, governments hold emergency meetings, citizens are told to stay calm. But calm is the first casualty. The initial assault. The first strikes are surgical. Cyberattacks target power grids, communication networks, and financial institutions. Airports grind to a halt. Stock markets plummet in minutes. Simultaneously, kinetic attacks, missiles, drones, long-range artillery hit military bases and strategic installations. The world watches in disbelief as once distant conflicts become immediate. Cities like Washington, D.C., Moscow, Beijing, and London go on maximum alert. The question isn't if anymore, it's how fast can humanity survive the first 24 hours. The global chaos. Within hours, the ripple effects explode. Global communication networks stagger. Internet access in some regions goes dark. Panic spreads faster than any missile ever could. Airports are overwhelmed. Trains and buses halt. Highways clog with civilians trying to escape potential strike zones. Rumors become reality in the absence of clear information. Economies shatter. Stock exchanges halt trading. Banks restrict withdrawals. Currencies fluctuate wildly. Supply chains, already fragile, collapse overnight. Food, fuel, and medical supplies begin to dwindle. Governments declare martial law in key regions. The economy isn't just affected, it's weaponized. Cyber attacks on financial institutions destabilize global markets. Hyperinflation begins in some nations. Digital currencies vanish from screens. In less than 48 hours, millions feel the pinch of global financial collapse. The nuclear shadow. The fear that keeps everyone awake at night. Nuclear escalation. Modern war is no longer conventional. Nuclear arsenals are on hair-trigger alert. Intelligence miscalculations, rogue commanders, or cyber-induced errors could trigger retaliatory strikes in minutes. The immediate impact. Imagine a 100-kiloton nuclear warhead detonating over a major city. The blast vaporizes everything within a mile radius. The shockwave flattens structures. Fires rage uncontrollably. Radiation spreads like an invisible tide, contaminating water and food. But the real terror is the domino effect. One strike triggers another. Nation after nation retaliates, trying to preserve deterrence and honor. Within hours, several major cities across continents are reduced to radioactive wastelands. The climate effect, even limited nuclear exchanges would eject massive amounts of dust and soot into the atmosphere. This nuclear winter could lower global temperatures for years. Crops fail, famine spreads, ecosystems collapse. Humanity itself faces a prolonged struggle for survival. Cyber warfare and AI battlefields. In 2025, war is fought not just with bombs, but with algorithms. Artificial intelligence controls drone fleets, missile defense systems, and cyber offensive capabilities. AI on the front lines. Autonomous weapons patrol the skies and seas. Satellites track targets in real time. AI predicts human troop movements faster than generals can react. Decisions once made by humans are now automated. The danger? Errors propagate exponentially. A false alarm triggers drone strikes. Miscommunications spark cyber retaliation. AI systems designed to defend nations become agents of escalation. Hospitals, water treatment plants, and power stations become collateral damage in digital attacks. For civilians, the threat is invisible but lethal. Infrastructure fails, and chaos reigns silently alongside the visible destruction. The human cost. Even if you survive the first explosions, the toll is immediate and brutal. Cities crumble. Refugee crises mushroom. Millions are displaced overnight. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Emergency services are unable to cope with the scale of devastation. Psychological impact. Fear becomes a constant companion. Sleep is impossible. The sounds of sirens, explosions, and distant gunfire echo in the mind long after the events. Communities fragment. Trust in institutions erodes. Fabric of society begins to tear. Long-term survival. Survivors face starvation, disease, and exposure. Radioactive zones become permanent hazards. Children grow up in a world where war is the default state. Education and healthcare systems collapse. Civilization risks losing an entire generation to trauma and scarcity. Global politics and chaos. With governments destabilized, power vacuums emerge. Military juntas, regional warlords, and opportunistic regimes attempt to seize control. Diplomacy as we know it no longer exists. Treaties are meaningless. Alliances crumble under the strain of survival and mistrust. Even neutral nations face dilemmas. They are forced to pick sides or defend against refugee influxes and cyber assaults. The balance of power that kept the world in relative peace for decades collapses in hours. Environmental collapse. Modern war leaves scars far beyond human casualties. Ecological devastation. Forests burn from bombings. Rivers become contaminated with chemical runoff. Nuclear fallout spreads across continents. Wildlife struggles to survive in zones of radiation and destruction. Global food crisis. Crop failures and destroyed infrastructure cause mass hunger. Fishing industries collapse as oceans become polluted. Grain silos burn or are abandoned. A world reliant on globalized supply chains discovers overnight how fragile its food security truly is. Climate acceleration. Fires, explosions, and soot increase greenhouse gases. The world that survives the initial strikes faces accelerated climate change, unpredictable weather, and natural disasters, amplified by human destruction. Chapter 8. Technological and medical breakdown. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Medical supplies are low. Hospitals in major cities are destroyed or abandoned. Artificial intelligence and robotics, once tools for productivity and healthcare, become limited to military purposes. Technology that once connected humanity instead isolates it. Vaccines, medicines, and treatments become scarce. Minor infections turn fatal. Preventable diseases resurface. Humanity's lifeline to modern medicine is severed. Social collapse and civil unrest. With law enforcement overwhelmed and governments struggling, civil unrest erupts everywhere. Looting, riots, and vigilante justice become daily norms. Societies fracture along ethnic, political, and economic lines. Trust in neighbors vanishes. Communities that once thrived now retreat into fear and self-preservation. Even in small towns, the ripple effect is undeniable. Roads are blocked, markets fail, communication is fragmented. Survival becomes local, immediate, and desperate. The struggle to rebuild. After weeks, months, and years, a shadow of civilization may return. Survivors adapt. New societies emerge, often tribal or militarized. Trade is limited to local regions. Technology is scavenged and reused. Education is rebuilt slowly. Communities relearn agriculture and medicine. Governance returns, but it is fractured. National borders may be irrelevant. Power is regional, not global. Humanity, resilient as it is, survives. But the scars of WWIII remain for generations. The lessons of tomorrow. WWIII is more than a hypothetical scenario. It's a stark warning. Modern weapons make mistakes deadly. AI accelerates escalation beyond human control. Nuclear war could end civilization as we know it. Environmental destruction could last centuries. Societies are fragile under sustained stress. This is why diplomacy, restraint, and preparation are more critical than ever. Humanity may have the technology to destroy itself, but it also has the intelligence to prevent it. World War III is not inevitable, but imagining it helps us understand the stakes. It reminds us that every decision, political, technological, or military, can have global consequences in an instant. If we survive, we rebuild. If we fail, history ends. So pause for a moment and consider, how prepared are we as a society? How resilient is our planet? How fragile is human civilization? If you found this cinematic journey into the potential future of humanity thought-provoking, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more explorations of what-if scenarios that shape our world. Stay aware, stay curious, and maybe stay hopeful.